Hello everyone, welcome to Shdows Secrit. Tonight, we travel deep into the cold heart of England, where one of the world's most famous hauntings continues to echo through the centuries. This is the chilling tale of Raynham Hall, a grand yet sinister estate, and the ghostly bride who roams its endless corridors, the infamous Brown Lady. Her image, captured in a single photograph in 1936, remains one of the most debated and terrifying ghost sightings ever recorded. But behind that photograph lies a story soaked in tragedy, betrayal, and restless vengeance. As the night deepens and shadows stretch across the stone walls of this haunted hall, prepare yourself to enter a world where the line between the living and the dead vanishes, where a single gaze into empty stairways may reveal something that should not be seen. This is not merely a ghost story, it is a descent into England's most terrifying legend. Raynham Hall, located in Norfolk, was built in the early 17th century by Sir Roger Townshend, a home meant to represent power, prestige, and wealth. Yet, even in its earliest days, whispers surrounded the hall, rumors of strange occurrences, cold spots, and figures gliding silently past ancient windows. Among its many tales, none is as enduring or as chilling as that of Lady Dorothy Walpole, the woman who would become immortalized as the Brown Lady. Dorothy's story is not just about a ghost. It is about betrayal, cruelty, and the eternal punishment of a soul who could never find rest. Born into privilege, Dorothy was the sister of Sir Robert Walpole, who would later become Britain's first Prime Minister. Her life was destined for refinement and security, but like many tales of haunted women trapped within English history, her path was marked by secrecy and sorrow. Dorothy fell deeply in love with Lord Charles Townshend, known for his fiery temper and ruthless control. Against her family's wishes, she became involved with him, and eventually she was forced into a marriage that would soon become a gilded prison. Townshend's jealous rage consumed him. When rumors spread of Dorothy's alleged affair with Lord Wharton, a notorious seducer of noblewomen, her fate was sealed. The story goes that Townshend, in a fury of suspicion, locked Dorothy within the grand walls of Raynham Hall, never allowing her to leave again. She was cut off from the outside world, separated from her children, and hidden like a dark family secret. Some say she wasted away slowly in her chambers, her cries echoing through the lonely halls at night. Others whisper that she died suddenly under mysterious circumstances, her soul bound to the mansion where her suffering ended. What is certain is that her death did not silence her presence. Instead, it gave birth to one of England's most enduring hauntings. Reports of the Brown Lady began not long after Dorothy's passing. Guests and servants alike told stories of a pale woman in a brown brocade dress, her hollow eyes glinting with despair, wandering the staircases of Raynham Hall. Candle flames flickered when she drew near, doors slammed without warning, and the echo of soft footsteps followed visitors through deserted corridors. Yet, the true terror came in the early 20th century, when her image was captured in one of the most chilling ghost photographs ever taken. In 1936, photographers Captain Provand and Indri Shira were on assignment for Country Life magazine, documenting the grandeur of Raynham Hall. As Shira gazed through the viewfinder, he froze. Descending the grand staircase was a misty figure, faint yet undeniable. The camera clicked, and what developed later remains one of the most famous ghost photographs in history. A translucent figure gliding down the staircase, draped in what appears to be a brown dress, head bowed, features obscured, yet undeniably human. Skeptics have tried for decades to debunk the image, claiming it was a double exposure or trick of light, but none have fully succeeded. To this day, the photograph stands as one of the most iconic and terrifying pieces of paranormal evidence ever recorded. Witnesses describe her with horrifying detail, her face, gaunt and skeletal, her empty eyes glowing in the dim light. Unlike other apparitions, the brown lady does not simply appear, she terrifies. In one famous encounter during the Christmas festivities of the 1800s, Colonel Loftus, a guest of the Townshend family, claimed to have seen her twice in succession. The second time, he described her face as so hideous and decayed that it seared into his memory forever. Another guest, Captain Frederick Marryat, author of ghostly sea tales, asked to sleep in the room where she was most often seen. Armed with a pistol, he was determined to prove the haunting was a hoax. That night, he came face to face with the brown lady. She appeared at the end of the hallway, holding a lantern, her face twisted in a grotesque grin. Marryat, filled with terror, fired directly at her. Yet the bullet passed through her spectral body, lodging in the wall behind. She faded away, leaving only silence and fear in her wake. The brown lady is not a passive spirit. Unlike gentle apparitions that simply wander, she has been described as malevolent, vengeful, and deeply unsettling. Many believe she seeks justice for the torment she endured, others that she cannot rest because of the cruelty of her husband. Some even suggest she is bound to Raynham Hall as punishment for her sins, forced to replay her anguish for eternity. Whatever the truth, her presence has made Raynham Hall a site of fear and fascination for centuries. To walk through the hall today is to walk in her shadow. The grand staircase where she was photographed still stands, silent and cold. Visitors often report sudden chills, the feeling of being watched, and flickering lights even in daylight. Guides whisper that her figure sometimes lingers near the windows, her outline blending with the curtains, as if she still waits to be freed from the hall that imprisoned her. Paranormal investigators have returned again and again, armed with cameras, recorders, and thermal devices. Some capture strange mists, others hear unexplained footsteps or voices calling out in the night. Yet none can truly explain why Dorothy's ghost remains. Perhaps it is because her story was never told in full, her pain never acknowledged, or perhaps Raynham Hall has become her eternal tomb, and she its eternal guardian. The brown lady of Raynham Hall is more than a ghost. She is a legend. She represents the sorrow of a woman betrayed, the cruelty of a husband's wrath, and the timeless question of what happens when suffering outlasts death itself. She reminds us that history is not only written in books, it lingers in walls, in shadows, and in the places where pain has carved its deepest scars. And so, if you ever find yourself in Norfolk, staring up at the grand and eerie facade of Raynham Hall, listen closely, for in the silence, in the draught of the stairwell, in the faint reflection of candlelight on the glass, you may catch a glimpse of the most famous ghost bride in England, descending the staircase in eternal mourning, her eyes hollow, her sorrow endless. Thank you for watching Shdows Secrit. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying stories from the shadows.